Welcome back, everyone. Grab your popcorn because today's story is packed with shocking twists, emotional moments, and secrets that change everything. Let's jump right in. You know, ladies, I have been watching this show for more decades than I sometimes care to admit. And if there is one thing I have learned, it is that the hardest role to play in Port Charles is the role of the perfect woman. For months now, we have watched sweet Willow try so desperately to hold everything together. She has worked so hard to maintain this beautiful image of a woman who always does the right thing, a compassionate soul wandering the halls of General Hospital, a loving mother, and a devoted wife. Bless her heart, she truly wants to be that person. But life has a funny way of testing our limits, and right now, Willow is facing a nightmare that is pushing her to the absolute edge. It breaks my heart to see her carrying such a heavy burden, trying to smile through the pain while her entire world threatens to collapse around her. The trouble really began with the dark cloud of the Ashford accident. We all know how tragedies in this town never just fade away. There is a dead man involved and a grieving father who is desperately searching for answers. The pain of losing a child is something no parent should ever have to endure. And that father's quest for the truth has cast a long, dark shadow over everyone connected to that fateful night. Willow has been trying to navigate this delicate situation, hoping to keep her family safe and her life peaceful. But peace is a rare visitor in Port Charles, and just when she thought she could manage the whispering and the questions, the ground completely fell out from under her. And of course, who should be the one to stir the pot but Lucy Coe? Oh, Lucy. We have known her for so many years, haven't we? She has always been a firecracker, always marching into situations and causing a stir. This time, Lucy marched straight into the Port Charles Police Department and pointed Detective Joe right in Willow's direction. Now, we know that Lucy's accusation might be built on a terrible lie, but Detective Joe does not know that. To him, Lucy just handed over a very promising lead in a very complicated case. It is so hard to watch someone you care about get dragged into the mud because of another person's careless words. Lucy's lie has planted a seed of doubt, and now that seed is growing into a thorny vine that is wrapping right around Willow's life. Detective Joe is a good man just trying to do his job. He is looking for the truth, and he needs to know exactly where Willow was on the night of the accident. He is asking the hard questions, pushing for an alibi, and digging into the details. Under normal circumstances, being questioned by the police is enough to make anyone sick with worry. Even if you have done nothing wrong, the pressure of a police investigation can make you question your own memory. But for Willow, this is not just a routine questioning. This investigation is happening at the absolute worst possible time, creating a perfect storm of panic that she simply cannot control. Because, my dear friends, Willow has a much bigger, much more terrifying problem sitting right inside her own home. Imagine, if you will, the sanctity of your living room. That is the place where you fold your children's laundry, where you sit and read a book, where your family gathers to share their day. It is supposed to be a safe haven against the harshness of the outside world. But for Willow, that safe haven has been completely violated. Sidwell, one of the most dangerous and wanted fugitives in all of Port Charles, has decided to use her home as his personal hiding place. He did not ask for her permission. He simply moved in, bringing all his darkness and danger right into the place where her children sleep. It makes my blood run cold just thinking about it. Sidwell is not just hiding from the law. He is actively terrorizing Willow in her own home. He has made it very clear that he is not going anywhere. And worse, he has made it clear that he holds all the power. He is sitting there, comfortable as can be, reminding her every single day that he knows her darkest secrets. He is not acting like a man on the run. He is acting like a man who has just won the lottery, and Willow is the one paying the price. The sheer terror she must feel every time she walks into her own living room is something I would not wish on my worst enemy. And what is the terrible secret that gives this monster so much power over our sweet Willow? It is the shocking truth that she is somehow involved in holding Drew captive. Yes, you heard me right. The woman who prides herself on her compassion and her goodness is hiding a secret so dark and so dangerous that it could destroy everything she has ever loved. We do not know all the reasons why she got tangled up in this terrible mess with Drew, but we know that keeping a man against his will or hiding the truth of his captivity is a betrayal of the highest order. It goes against everything Willow claims to stand for, and it is eating her alive from the inside out. This is the ultimate betrayal, not just of Drew, but of her own family. How can she look at her husband, her children, and her friends knowing what she is hiding? The guilt must be absolutely crushing. And Sidwell knows this. He knows that Willow would rather die than let the world see her as a monster. He is using her desperate need to protect her family and her image as a weapon against her. He is holding the secret of Drew's captivity over her head like a sharp sword, ready to drop it the moment she steps out of line. He is perfectly willing to expose her to the police, to her family, and to the entire town if she does not do exactly what he wants. To make matters even more complicated, Willow has just recently decided to step into the world of politics. Now, ladies, we all know that politics is a dirty game, and it requires a person to have a spotless background. You cannot run for public office when you have a closet full of dark, dangerous skeletons. Her political ambitions rely entirely on her being seen as a trustworthy, honest, and reliable member of the community. How in the world can she maintain that public image when she has a wanted fugitive drinking coffee in her living room and a kidnapped man hidden away in her secrets? It is a disaster waiting to happen, and every step she takes toward the political spotlight just puts a bigger target on her back. The walls are truly closing in on her. On one side, she has Detective Joe asking questions, digging into her past, and looking for any little crack in her story about the Ashford accident. On the other side, she has Sidwell, tightening his grip, making demands, and threatening to expose the terrible truth about Drew. She is caught in a trap, and there seems to be no way out. If Joe pushes too hard and finds something suspicious, Sidwell might panic and spill everything. If Willow tries to turn Sidwell in, he will instantly tell the police about Drew. She is fighting a war on two fronts, and she is running out of ammunition. This brings us to the beautiful, painful theme of family bonds. We have seen so many families in Port Charles face impossible odds, but this situation threatens to tear Willow's family apart forever. Family is built on trust, on the belief that the people we love are honest with us. When you keep a secret this massive, you are building a brick wall between yourself and the people who love you. I worry so much about what will happen when her husband finds out. Will he understand that she was trapped, or will he only see the lies? The bonds of family are strong, but betrayal is a heavy hammer that can shatter even the strongest glass. And what about forgiveness? Can a family forgive something like this? As we get older, we learn that forgiveness is the most powerful force in the world. It takes a tremendous amount of grace to look at someone who has lied to you, who has endangered your home, and say, I still love you. But forgiveness also requires the truth. You cannot forgive a lie that is still being told. Willow is going to have to find the courage to come clean, to throw herself on the mercy of the people she loves before Sidwell takes that choice away from her. If she waits until the police break down her door, it will be too late for apologies. There is such a profound life lesson in all of this, a lesson we have seen repeated time and time again on this show. The truth always comes to the light. You can bury it in the backyard, you can hide it behind a beautiful smile, you can even lock it in a basement, but the truth has a way of breathing, of growing, until it finally bursts out into the open. The longer you hide it, the more damage it does when it finally explodes. Willow is learning this lesson the hard way. She thought she could manage the lie, but the lie is now managing her. It has taken over her home, her peace of mind, and her future. I sit here and I just pray that she finds the strength to do the right thing. It is never too late to turn back toward the light, even when you are lost in the dark. She needs to remember the strong, brave woman she truly is underneath all this fear. She needs to look at her children and realize that the best way to protect them is to give them a mother who lives in the truth, no matter how painful that truth might be. It will be a hard road, full of tears and broken hearts, but it is the only road that leads back to real peace. Thank you for letting me share these thoughts with you today. It is always such a comfort to talk through these stories with friends who understand the deep emotions and the long histories of these characters. We will keep watching, keep hoping, and keep praying for our friends in Port Charles. Until next time, take care of yourselves, hold your loved ones close, and never underestimate the power of a truthful heart.